What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream, big match preview. Arsenal v Manchester City, New Year's Day settings. Couldn't have picked a harder game, to be honest. Mr. Manchester City himself, Big Steve in the building. How are you, bro?
I'm very good, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
No worries, man. If it's Man City, it's got to be you, ain't it, man? But I mean, how's things? You know what? You always, every time you come on, you've got that look on your face that, like, I kind of had on my face growing up. You know, when I knew my team were great, you just have that little smile on your face all the time. I haven't had that look on my face for over a decade, probably, but.
Mate, I didn't have that look on my face for 30 years. You want to see my face? I had an afro, yeah. I had an afro, and then after all them years in Division 2 all the way now, I've lost my hair, and I'm glowing right now. You know what I mean? I appreciate everything I'm watching at the minute. I'm not one of these fans that takes it for granted. You know what I mean? I'm really, really lucky, and it's fantastic. I mean, I sat in envy at your team at Main Road, beat us 5-0, Thierry Henry running riot. We gave him a standing ovation. And I remember coming out the ground and saying to an Arsenal fan in the pub, man, you got some team, man. And he was like, yeah. You were all singing, we are unbeatable, and all that. And it's just mad. But listen, now we're a great side, and I'm enjoying it, man.
Just to let everyone know, because we was going to pre-record this, but because it was on at 1, I was going to go live at 2. It made sense to just bring the two together and do it live at 1. So get your comments in, people. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. Steve's channel is in the hyperlink in the title. Go and subscribe to him. Let's get him to 6K. You're nearly at 6K, so onwards and upwards for you, bro. And you're going to the game tomorrow now.
Yeah, I've had COVID for about 7 or 8 days, and then I tested. I've done a couple of tests now, and I'm clear. So I'm going down. It's an early dart for us, 5 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. Driving down there. Probably going to do a little bit with AFTV in and around the game. So if anyone sees me at the match tomorrow, come and say hello, innit?
That's it, man. I mean, do you know what? I just wanted to say I saw a show you did with Robbie the other day. That was really funny, actually. That was a good show. Was it on the Lad Bible?
It was on Lad Bible, yeah. To be honest, they cut it right down. We did a lot more questions. There was some questions about Thierry Henry and Aguero that we agreed on. There was questions about Vincent Kompany and Tony Adams, which I went for Tony Adams, which would have surprised a lot of people, but me and Robbie have just had a good footballing chat. It was exactly like how it looked, a little pub vibe, sat on a little table, just chatting, chewing the fat, and it was good, man. It was really good.
One of the main ones that I noticed that you said on there was you was having a discussion about who is the bigger club. I was actually talking about this yesterday, and people were, they were coming for you, obviously, the Arsenal fans, but what's your genuine thoughts on that? Do you actually think City are bigger than Arsenal now, or do you think is it? My explanation of it was I think you're a better club than we are right now. I think a player would choose you ahead of us. I still don't think you've quite overtaken us in terms of size of a club.
Well, it depends how you want to judge it, because if you judge it on the things that matter, trophies, current trophies, way the club's run, do you know what I mean? Looking going forward, the turnover of the club and everything else, we're eclipsing you all over the park now. And Robbie said, you're new to the party. We came and took over the party, you know what I mean? The thing is with people, what they got to realise is you're quick to throw stones at Man City saying you got no history, yeah? But let's just look at the facts. You're looking at Arsenal and you're talking about the great team with Thierry Henry and the Premier Leagues and the Invincibles, yeah? That's what you're classing as the great period in your history, yeah?
Yeah.
We've won more Premier League titles than you now. Sergio Aguero came in, yeah, and broke every record Thierry Henry broke. So the bits of history you're now saying, we've beat you twice there. You've done an Invincible, which is a fantastic achievement, yeah? And we haven't done that. But we've done a Centurion season that's never been achieved, and no one else has done that. We've also done a formidable season that nobody's ever done in the history of football. So for these people saying we've got no history when it suits them, because they can talk about Chelsea winning the Premier League and Mourinho, and that's their history, and that's great. And Arsenal can talk about the Invincibles, Thierry Henry, and that's great. But when Man City start talking about Sergio Aguero, the Centurions, back-to-back titles, things like that, apparently that's not allowed. So this is what I'm saying. At the minute, people need to get real, because in 10 years' time, when we're having this conversation, they'll be saying Manchester City is a bigger club than Arsenal.
I just think, I know what you're saying. You are creating, a massive history now. I just think, is it because people will say, overall as a club, probably a bigger support, more trophies overall in terms of the history? I know we're talking, pre-Premier League and stuff like that. I think it's probably hard for City to wipe out Arsenal's history in 10 years. I do think you're closing us down. No, there's no doubt about that.
About wiping the history out. I just think it's about people having a bit of respect. I respect Arsenal as a club and I respect their history. But you've got to look at Manchester City as a club. We won the FA Cup before Arsenal. We won a European trophy before Arsenal. We won an FA Cup before Man United. We won an FA Cup before Liverpool. 65 years before Liverpool. We've got the highest ever attendance in an English football stadium's home ground. 84,000 at Main Road, and you're taking the piss out. People taking the piss about empty seats. Look, know your history. You want to talk about history? You want to talk about history, innit? Know the history. You know what I mean? Don Robbie said there's no empty seats at Arsenal. He's lying, because I've seen it with my own eyes. You've seen it with your own eyes. So at the end of the day, the point scoring thing about being who's bigger, I'm not really interested in it, because, like I said to Robbie, I'd rather be known as a small club but winning trophies every season than be known as a big club that wins now. Do you know what I mean? The big club it's a bit like, oh, my dad's bigger than your dad. You can take that. if that's what these big clubs have resorted to now, where they can only compare history, then I'll take that, because I can compare trophies, and I'm on a journey with my team, and I'm creating more history, than these big teams are getting. So these big teams need to stop throwing stones at glass houses, because in 10 years' time, their history might not be relevant to our history, because the way we're going, mate, it's like an express train.
Yeah. Apologies if my audio is a little bit echoing. I don't know why. Sometimes when I have a guest on, sometimes it echoes for some reason. So apologies. But no, listen, look, I'm with you. I think it's how you define what's bigger in it at the end of the day. And the thing is, people live in the present. So a lot of people don't care what you did 10, 15 years ago. Me growing up, my dad's a Liverpool fan. He always used to say, we won European Cups, Bob Paisley. And I used to say, I don't really care about that. I didn't even see that happen. And now Arsenal, we're kind of like that club as well. We have an argument. And the first thing I go is, Invincibles, Thierry Henry. It's kind of the desperation of the situation that we're in. So, listen, I understand. And I even said this yesterday, that in 5 years or 10 years, clubs like City will have gone past Arsenal.
We're in the Premier League this year. We've won more Premier League titles than Chelsea, yeah? And we've already won more than Arsenal. But people are classing Chelsea and Arsenal as some sort of super club. And they're just dismissing us. But a lot of it's jealousy, yeah? A lot of it's envy. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't swap my club at the minute for anyone, because the way we're run from top to bottom is unbelievable. You only have to look at the mob over the road at Chelsea that's coming out this morning. And I said on the Big Six, which you tune into the Big Six show after this at 2:00, and you'll see what's going to happen on there, because there'll be a Chelsea meltdown. And that's what I'm saying. But I've got a lot of respect for Arsenal as a football club. I grew up watching Arsenal, and Arsenal to me when they were doing well, was a saving grace in Manchester, because Manchester United was so dominant. When Arsenal came along, it gave us a breather. It gave us somebody to beat them with, because we were shit. Yeah. And you were good. So we used to say, fucking hell, I hope Arsenal do them. And you was beating them, Vieira and all that. And we loved it. So Man City and Arsenal, there's never going to be any hatred towards it. The Don Robbie thing was like a tongue-in-cheek thing and that. But I've got to stick up for my fan base, and I've got to be real to my supporters. And I've got to say, look, there's a lot of kids in the chat, and there's a lot of kids come on here and they talk nonsense. We get that. But the actual football people will sit down and think, you know what? Manchester City are creating something now. Nottingham Forest was a big club. They won two European Cups. Do they still harp on about them? Probably. Do they think they're a big club now? No. So it's where You swear you've got to think, you know what? The way I look at it is this. People that talk about history have got nothing to talk about now. End of story.
What's the situation with Pep? Is he, because wasn't he set to go next year? Is that what he said? 2023 or 2022 was it?
Well, look, Pep Guardiola's stayed longer than we all expected. He's created something very special. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. But Pep Guardiola's free to do whatever he wants. If he wants to leave, he'll have our blessing. They'll probably put a statue up of him and he'll go. If he wants to stay, he's more than welcome. And the thing is, we've created a working environment for Pep, which suits him. He's got everything he wants in the world at his disposal. The training ground's adapted to him. You know, they've done everything for him. He's invested in property in Manchester. He's opened a restaurant in Manchester. He's bought into what Manchester City's about. Don't think he ever had that connection when he went like Bayern Munich. I think he went there.
Yeah,
he did, and then he come to City. And with the Barcelona ex-Barca players in the staff and all through the club, I think they've made it a Pep Guardiola sanctuary, and I think he's in a happy place. If we had the sun, I think he'd stay here forever.
That's it. It is just that Manchester weather, man. Big up Joshua with the super chat. He said, "Big up Curtis. I used to live with a City fan. They do have history. Lee, I think he was going to say Summerby and Goto, which wasn't great, but they are definitely the present." I mean, like I said to you, Steve, before, I've been to Main Road. I remember, pulling up in Moss Side, going for food. And I never, even then, I felt like you had something as a club. You had an atmosphere, you had a fan base and that. And obviously now you're kind of reaping the rewards under Sheikh Mansour. And listen, I think any football fan would want those owners. I would want your owners at Arsenal right now. I don't care if they throw oil all over the place, mate. I'll take it.
But the thing is, Curtis, they've not come in and spent recklessly at draining the club. Sheikh Mansour's came in, right? Roman Abramovich, every bit of money Roman Abramovich has pumped in Chelsea is a loan. He owes him back. So when they sell the club, he gets that back. Every single bit of money Sheikh Mansour has put in is gift to Manchester City. So people say, oh, if Sheikh Mansour gets bored and walks away, doesn't matter. Because whoever buys Manchester City, they were worth billions now. They'll have to pay it. And at the end of the day, the assets, New York City, Melbourne City, Yokohama Marinas, Mumbai City, all them teams, Girona, are owned by Manchester City. So we're building a legacy of clubs around the world. Manchester City's building that. So they're not a small club anymore. They can say they're a small club. They're not a small club. Any team that wins 5 Premier League titles, you know what I mean, is not a small club. I don't care what you say. But what we're doing off the pitch around Manchester, the training ground, the facilities, the infrastructure, they're laying foundations for years and years and years to come. The other one from us over the road, they're 20 years behind us, mate, off the pitch and on the pitch. The training ground's a shithole. The ground's falling apart. They're throwing money at massive superstars that are not superstars in their mind, the shirt sellers. Their blueprint is failing, rapid. Our blueprint is excelling at a rapid pace. You only have to look with your eyes. So at the end of the day, we've come from nowhere. We won the lottery with Sheikh Mansour. He's the best owner in the world. They've bought into what Manchester City is about. They've invested in the community, the local infrastructure, the training ground, the kids, the women's team, everything. And we're so lucky, mate. We're absolutely lucky.
Yeah, no, you are in that sense, definitely. Make sure you smash the likes, people. We're nearly at 40k as well. Make sure you subscribe to Steve. And just before we round this little section up, if you was to give me your order of the Premier League teams, just like the big, obviously you do the Big Six show, what order would you put those teams in there of biggest in your eyes?
I think Man United are the biggest. It hurts me to say it.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. I can only give you my opinion. And my opinion is going to be everyone's opinion. And I'm entitled to my opinion on what I've been watching football, how long and all that. And I think United's the biggest, Liverpool second. I'd go now.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Steve. Here he goes.
I go City. Arsenal, Chelsea.
And we won't even talk about the other team. They're irrelevant anyway. But I've got to squeeze Arsenal in
People
first.
talk to me about Chelsea, but I remember Chelsea, yeah. And before Abramovich came, Manchester City won more trophies than Chelsea. So don't let anyone say that Man City was nothing because we were bigger than Chelsea. I remember Chelsea having 10, 11,000 on Premier League. Man City Monday night, 1998 away, Stamford Bridge, 11,000. I remember all that. I remember 200 fans coming to Main Road. So if you really want to get into the big argument, look for the facts. Don't look what the media's telling you, and don't look what somebody on Twitter's telling you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he did it, people. I could see it. When he got to third, I could see him having the think he was thinking, I'm going to squeeze City in it. You know me, I
love rattling Chelsea up at the minute. I told them Tuchel was a fraud, and now they're all in my DMs saying, Steve, you was right. He's not what he seems to be. The big striker they've got, he's now out here throwing the manager under the bus. The big centre half they've got wants to leave, doesn't sign a contract. Christensen wants to go AC Milan. If they're that big of a club, that successful, and it's that great at Chelsea and the European champions that they keep singing, why are your players wanting to get off?
Yeah. It's not all rosy in that garden, is it? I think for me, I would have to squeeze Arsenal in third. I just still think worldwide we're bigger, but I do think you're putting the heat on us if we don't sort ourselves out with this owner.
You know what though, Curtis? I'll take that because if an Arsenal fan wants to be known as a bigger club than Manchester City, they can have that. Because it's never really been on our radar. We've been in the shadow of the biggest club in England. We've been in Division 2, and they was winning the treble. So I know what a big club is like, and I know how they behave. Yeah, and they were singing songs about us, mocking us, putting banners on the Stretford End when we were in Division 2. So they even was worrying about us then because they thought, you know what I mean. Now if that's like me worrying about Oldham Athletic, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean. But Man City fans are not obsessed with this big club thing. Not bothered about it. We're obsessed with trophies because we were starved of trophies. Now we've got the trophy bug. I want trophies. So if someone comes on and says Arsenal's a bigger club than you, I'll say, okay, mate, great, that's your opinion. And they're entitled to it. You know what I mean? But be honest, the way we're going, the football journey I'm on, the trophies that we're winning, the football I'm watching, I'd rather not be a big club and carry on doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Big up Skull Fuggery. Hope you're well, bro. And listen, do you know what? I remember last time you came on it, we was having a bad time, Arsenal, and you was giving me positive words about Arteta, and I actually came away from that show thinking, I'm sure this is turning into the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer situation that all the other rival fans are going, oh, no, keep Arteta. He'll do really well for you. Because I used to do that to Man U. No, keep Ole. He's a top man, you know what I mean? But he's actually doing all right at the moment. What do you make of it? Because obviously he was at City as assistant manager. I've still had a lot of doubts about him, but you were speaking quite positively about him.
Well, I said this to Turkish yesterday. I had a good chat with him. And I said, look, there's one or two things there's three things for me needed. One was time. Most important thing was time because not a lot of managers get that time. You employed a rookie coach, right? And you expect him to do miracles. He's not going to do that. He's a rookie. So I said it yesterday to Turkish. If we've got a factory and we're advertising for a forklift truck driver and we employ a guy with no license, he's going to smash the gaff up before he gets it right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you got to be patient with him. The second thing is, look what he's done with the goalkeeper situation. Whether you like it or not, he's going to try and play the Pep way. The most important part of the jigsaw for Pep Guardiola was getting the goalkeeper situation right because everything comes from the keeper. We got rid of Joe Hart, Golden Glove winner, 4 years. The fans, went absolutely mental because it was Pep Guardiola. He got away with it. What Arteta had to do, he had to bide his time. And he bought his time and he got Ramsdale in, right? And another thing he had a problem at the club, in your captain. Because I'm telling you now, he didn't want him there. Pep Guardiola goes in Barcelona, gets rid of Ibrahimovic, Ronaldinho, goes in Man City, gets rid of Joe Hart, starts pushing people out. I think what he's done is he's accepted the situation with, I can't even say his name, Aubameyang, yeah?
There you go. That's the first time I've heard you say it.
Aubameyang, yeah. Premsy taught me how to say it tonight. So he's accepted the situation with Aubameyang, and hear me out on this one, yeah? And he's given him enough rope to hang himself. Now, Aubameyang is pushed out the squad, and nobody's that arsed. But if Arteta walks in that to Arsenal team, as soon as he gets there, and drops him, then Aubameyang has got more credit with the fans than Arteta, and it turns on him. But I think the tide has turned for Arteta now. I think he can get rid of Aubameyang, no problem. I think if he brings in a decent striker like a Vlahovic and somebody else, I think looking at your squad with the young boys, Saka, Martinelli, you look how good Martinelli's playing without Aubameyang near the team. You look how happy your team looks. Look how the dressing room spirit looks. You can see it with your own eyes. And sometimes people got to wake up and realise that these big superstar players, some of them are not what they seem to be. And I hope Arteta bombs him out, brings his own men in the summer. I hope you get top 4, and I hope he pushes on. Because if you can see a light, I said it to you last time, if you can see a light at the end of the tunnel and things are starting to progress, give the guy time.
And you know what? I've been a big defender of Aubameyang, so but even I look at it slightly different now. You got to look at what's best for the team. Whilst I think the only reason though is when results start to go against Arteta, does that tide turn on him? Because say we lose to Man City tomorrow, we play Tottenham in a couple of weeks, we got Liverpool over 2 legs in the cup. If we were losing them games and Aubameyang's not involved, all of a sudden, them questions are a lot more difficult for Arteta to answer, because people are going to go, well, hang on, Ruben Diaz just pocketed Lacazette and you've left Aubameyang at home. So I think it has fallen at a good time for him, where we beat Southampton, we beat Norwich, we've beaten Leeds. So, but I do get your point. I think it's fallen at a good time where he can probably get rid of Aubameyang and there won't be too many arguments.
No, and I just think the way you're going forward, you needed to freshen up, and you was on that merry-go-round of where you get a new manager in, the same older players are not doing the job. You know yourself that Oba's not an Arsenal captain. You look at the captains you've had in the past. If you want to return to that level, you've got to get the mentality back, and to get the mentality back, you've got to have a guy in the dressing room that bleeds Arsenal and he leads by example on and off the pitch. You can't have a guy that thinks it's funny to turn up late and do things, because the younger players are going to think it's fucking great at Arsenal here. We can do what we want, and we don't get... If Oba can do what he wants, we do what we want. I know for a fact, that Vincent Kompany would fine players for dropping the shirt on the dressing room floor, because he said that shirt is so precious. The amount of people that would want to wear that shirt, pick it up. I know that came from his missus's mouth to me when I spoke to her. And he ruled that club with an iron rod, like Tony Adams, like Vieira. There's certain levels you got to set in the dressing room. And I think that people forget how Arsenal used to be run as a club. And it's all this YouTube and Arsenal TV and banter and negative shit. But when you actually scrape all that back and get back to basics, you need a man. You can stand on that terrace and think, he's our captain, we're backing him. If he says this is this, this is this. We got beat at Liverpool in the Champions League. Vincent Kompany with City end was fuming. He walked right over at the end, stood right in front of us, and he went, I apologise. Next game, we'll turn it around. I apologise. I left that stadium then totally confident that my captain meant that. Do you know what I mean? In the end, we got knocked out, but we performed better than we did there. And that's what you need sometimes. You need someone who can come out and take the heat off the manager because he gets pelters. You need someone that can come out and go, whoa, hold on a minute. The performance went down to the manager. We let him down today. Against Everton, your team let you down. You got out-fought by an Everton team. There was a soft underbelly. They just wanted it more. And that's what can't happen if you want to return to that elite mentality.
It's funny, I saw a report yesterday and they were talking about Arsenal and Man United, and they said, you look at Arsenal and United, when you think about, the captains from yesteryear and whatever, Vieira, Keane, and they go, United have got Harry Maguire and Arsenal have got, they've had Aubameyang and Granit Xhaka, and that's probably a big part of the reason why we've struggled. We've lacked leadership on the pitch as well as with the manager. So, as much as as a fan, you tend to get drawn in sometimes of individual players, but I do think we need to kind of change the whole direction of the football club. And I think, maybe that is going to mean players like Aubameyang being let go.
Yeah, I can see it. And like you say, I just think there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel now. 2 or 3 months ago, Arteta was in dead water for me. And I thought, what? He's gonna get sacked here, and then it's gonna be the merry-go-round again. You're gonna have to start again, load of players out, new players in. Do you know what I mean? But I think he's ridden a good storm, and I think he's got a chance to do it. If he beats Manchester City tomorrow, fantastic result. You know what I mean? If you can get through to the cup final, things like that. You know what I mean? It's all looking okay for Arsenal at the minute. It was looking peak after that Everton game. Yeah. I went on the big six and ripped them apart. Xhaka, Partey said they wasn't good enough, but they've proved me wrong. You know what I mean? Players can do that. You want a reaction, and they've had a bit of reaction. You know what I mean?
Let's just quickly talk about City, man. I looked at you at the start of the season, I'll be honest with you, and I thought not buying a striker was a massive mistake. That's what I thought at the time. I thought to spend 100 million on Grealish out wide when you've got all those players who can play wide, Bernardo, Mahrez, Sterling, Foden, and then you're just tearing the league to pieces at the moment. I think it's 10 wins in a row. I'm looking at the league table here. You've scored 51 goals in 20 games. You've conceded 12. That is just ridiculous, isn't it, for halfway through the season? Obviously, you're a season ticket holder.
Against Leicester. Conceded 3 of them against Leicester last week.
What have you made of City? Compared to the City teams of the past, is it strange watching them with no striker, or is it just the same free-flowing Man City team?
No, it's a very different kind of football you've got to watch. It's a very patient kind of football. We're sort of strangling teams now. We're not giving them the ball. We're absolutely passing them to death, and we've got to be patient. Don't get me wrong, the swashbuckling days of Mancini when we had Tevez, Balotelli, Aguero, and Dzeko, they're gone. You know what I mean? Pep Guardiola's created a machine, and it's like a well-oiled machine. We're dominating the play. We're just not letting teams breathe. We're setting an intensity level, which most teams, only Liverpool has competed with it at Anfield. They kept up to the same level of the pace. I think even Arsenal at the Etihad, they shocked them with the level of it, and we've got that ability to go up a gear if we need to. Like Leicester scored 3 goals because we switch off. We just go and score 2. Leeds getting put for 7. I know it's Leeds, but these are things that people need to realise. Pep Guardiola's created a monster. He's created his own system, and it's very hard to beat. The number 9 situation is a strange one because it's so frustrating. Jack Grealish out wide is not where he will be playing in the future. He's just been pigeonholed out there because Bernardo Silva was supposed to leave and Jack Grealish was bought to replace him, but then he stayed. Playing absolutely outstanding. So Pep Guardiola had £100 million headache. So rather than bring the press and all the haters onto Manchester City, he's pigeonholed him out on the left. And at the end of the day, we'll take that as City fans. He doesn't need to come into our team and start ripping up trees, because one thing you get at Manchester City is time. João Cancelo, time. David Silva, time. Mahrez, time. All didn't do it in the first season. All had to bed themselves in. And anyone that thinks they can come into Manchester City's system from Aston Villa to what Pep Guardiola demands and take to it straight away doesn't happen. He's already said it was a bit of a culture shock for him. The levels that are expected of him are different to what was expected of him at Villa. So Jack Grealish, from Man City fans, just leave him alone. We just let him tick along, carry on doing what he's doing. Next season, the pressure's on Jack. You know what I mean? But we're playing well. We're playing really well. And we're getting the job done. Even the nitty-gritty 1-0s and stuff, we're still getting the points on the board.
Someone just asked then, Steve, what do you make of that Sterling to Arsenal rumour that was kind of going around? I know they were saying Barcelona, but obviously Barca just bought Torres off you for 55 million. What do you think's going to happen with Sterling? Will he sign a new deal? Because he has been playing quite a lot lately, hasn't he?
You see with Raheem, right? Raheem's been absolutely fantastic at Manchester City Football Club. He's been brilliant for us. and he's improved as a player and he's improved as a person. I bet, you know, Pep Guardiola's got hold of him and he's changed him on and off the pitch, and he's a great professional now, does a lot for the racism in the game and things like that. But on the pitch, he's actually doing the business. My argument with Raheem early doors was, look, we need a striker. And if we had to sacrifice somebody in the team, I would have sacrificed Raheem, because he started the season poor. So I would have thought, let him go, 70, 80, whatever million, bring in a striker. Because we've all got our eyes on Haaland at City. He's just the one we want. But so that's what I was looking at. If you're asking me, Raheem's never really had a love relationship with any club he's been at. I think he's one of these players that sees it as a job, and you never see him running and celebrating with the supporters. You never see him kissing the badge. You never see him in interviews bigging up the fans out like that. He just does what he needs to do, and that's Raheem. But I can see Raheem Sterling at Arsenal. If Arsenal really, really pushed the boat out and went for him and made him a number one, even a captain, you know what I mean? Even a captain, made him a number one, lead by example, he's a London boy. I think it'd be an absolute fantastic signing for Arsenal.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I've brought it up on the show before, and some people are a little bit, I think the one thing is some people think because we don't move the ball as well as City do, will he look as good? Will he get as many chances? And also, I think, isn't he on like 200 or 300 grand a week at City? He's on big wages.
He is, but he'd be a superstar at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? He'd be a superstar. And I think, you know, you keep going about this big club with big fans, get your big wallets on, get the money in.
Here he goes.
You know what I mean? But it'd be a great signing for him. And you know what? If he turned around and said, I want to leave, I'd give him a blessing. Man City would. You know what I mean? We can't stop him. He's been phenomenal for us. You know what I mean?
Someone asked here, Harry said, thoughts on the Cancelo incident? I just saw that last night. Was his house broken into or something? He was attacked.
Yeah, his house was broken into. He's been attacked. He's got a few cuts and that. It's a joke. It's a joke. These footballers, no disrespect, but the money they're on now, if it costs you 300 quid a day to have a security guard sat outside your gaff to save you, to make you feel safe, do it. They do it in America with the movie stars. These players are like movie stars. They're driving around in 100, 200,000 pound cars. They've got 100,000 pound watches on. The wife's wearing all the top gear. It's the society we live in. It's disgusting. Yeah. And Cancelo, do you know what I mean? He's a nice geezer. He's got a family, and they're getting robbed and that. And Otamendi was robbed in his house in Portugal. He had things tied around his neck and choked and all that. It's scary times. At the end of the day, you know, I hope he's well. I wish him all the best, and I hope. But I know Manchester City have got a really good security team, and I know that they do watch the players' houses when they're away on European trips and stuff like that. They do have a security setup like that, so I'm sure City will have to.
Will he not play tomorrow, do you think?
I don't know. You know, if his missus is shook up and that, and he just mooches off out of London, it's a little bit touch and go, innit? You know what I mean? He might just... There's things more important in life than football. And if your missus and your kids are frightened to death, you need to chill out with your kids. So if you need to stay and chill out with the kids, innit?
Yeah, it's a terrible incident, man. Like you said, these footballers, they're targeted, man, unfortunately. So hopefully he's all right. If Arsenal are going to have any chance, I mean, let's be honest, you're your favourites. You know, I read that we've only beaten you twice since 2015, once in the FA Cup semi-final and the other time at the Etihad, that Santi Cazorla masterclass. How can Arsenal potentially do something? I mean, a lot of people are sort of saying it's on the counter-attack, how Leicester got a few goals against you. How can you actually damage this City team?
Just let me answer the chat. Someone said, is that a United scarf next to Steve? It is, because... this is where we film... So half the studio is United, the shitty half. And half this side of the studio is my side with a Premier League trophy and that.
Oh, here he goes.
But
we thought
it is what it is.
They don't miss nothing in the comments.
You know what I mean? But so whoever's eagle-eyed in the comment, I'm going to throw that over there because I can't do without the big six. Gone now anyway.
Yeah, you know what? That Saeed was in the chat earlier as well, saying, "Don't let him pretend they're a big club."
I seen him, man.
Oh, dear.
No, how can you beat us? Well, the way to beat us is to frustrate us. Southampton set up in like a 4-2-2-2 system, frustrated the life out of us, made sure that they defended well from side to side. Because if you watch Manchester City, everything's side to side. This is the fault with Grealish. Grealish gets the ball on the left. He isn't going to go outside the fullback and cross it because there's no one in the box. So he's going to come back inside every time. So if you've got an intelligent back four that can understand the way City are going to play, you can frustrate the life out of us. Wolves did it. Southampton did it. Crystal Palace was a bit mad because we lost 10. We was 10 men and then we went for him and they got us on the break. So there's a counter-attack. If Fernandinho plays tomorrow, no Rodri, that is an angle.
Is Rodri out?
Rodri might be out, but Gundogan was rested, so I've got a feeling Gundogan's going to sit deep. And then the other angle, you could get joy. If Cancelo is now not going to play, that's a big problem for us down the left because that means Zinchenko will play left back, and I think Saka might have a go at him.
Oh, he will. He will. Is Walker back? Because he hasn't played, has he?
Walker's training. Okay. So for me, an ideal team tomorrow for me would be Ederson. I'd have Cancelo left back, Laporte, Diaz, and Walker. I would have Gundogan defensive midfield if Rodri's not there. I'd have Bernardo, probably KDB, and it'd be Mahrez, Sterling, and Foden.
It's crazy, man, because the way you pick your team, you could literally pick. It's like you could pick anyone; it would still work, wouldn't it? That's how strong the squad is, man. Big up Premsy, man. Big up Premsy. I see you did a preview with him as well.
Yeah, he's coming to the match with me, Premsy, tomorrow. I've got to listen to the tales about the Invincibles all the way down to London. So I'm gonna put
That's it, man. Like you said, you just got to frustrate you, it's like your team, innit? Just got to frustrate them. Talk about the Invincibles the whole trip. Oh, man. But yeah, that City team, man, just moving forward, do you think, to get 55 million for Ferran Torres, is that gonna make you look for a striker in January? Because I'm sure there's some money there to spend.
The thing is with City, they're very, very careful of what they do in the transfer market. They don't panic buy anybody. They wait. And if we have to wait a season to get who we want, I definitely think there was legs in the Kane rumour. But I think the Kane thing, I think some of the board wanted it, some of them didn't. Pep was probably thinking he had a valuation in his head and he went above that. City usually don't pay too high than what they think. And then I think he's gone with what he's got now, but just definitely selling Varane definitely leaves us extra light up front.
Yeah.
But we won the league last year. We know Aguero playing a false nine system. If he wins it this year playing a false nine system, who can argue with the man? You know what I mean? If he goes and says, I'm not buying a striker, I'm sticking with a false nine, who can argue with him? Do you know what I mean? I'd love Haaland. He's my dream signing at Man City, Haaland. I do love the kid Vlahovic at Fiorentina. Every time he scores, I go and check his goals out, and I just think he's a hitman. And I'm thinking that he's a hitman, and he's one of them players where he's a bit like Edin Dzeko, where you know he's going to score. You bring him on, he's going to score. And I think if Arsenal or someone could get that Vlahovic, I think that'd be good, man.
According to his agent, Steve, he's not even answering calls to us. So I don't think Vlahovic is going to turn up at the Emirates. He watched Champions League football, apparently. So in terms of the title race, I had a bet at the start of the season. I like to have a bet just to make it a bit interesting. And I went for Liverpool. I don't know why. They were really good odds, and I just had a feeling. But looking at them now, I just think their squad is a little bit overstretched. Do you think, I know you're not going to say it at this early stage, but are you feeling very confident that title is coming back?
Listen, if you know Manchester City fans, you know that we are not confident people. So the only thing, there's no Man City fans going to tell you now that Man City's won this league. Never. And I said there's going to be some twists and turns, and there will be. There'll be a little patch. We always hit one where we're going to drop some points, and it's how we bounce back from it. You know what I mean? We've just got to keep doing what we do. Don't worry about anyone else. Keep doing what we do. If we beat Arsenal, and we beat Chelsea, we could be 12 points ahead by the time Liverpool play. Now, psychologically, if you're a Liverpool player looking at the table, even though you've got the games in hand, you'd rather have the points on the board. And I just think Manchester City, we know what they're about. If you get Manchester City early in the season, they struggle a bit. We got beat off Tottenham. You know what I mean? We can struggle. But I think now, business end of the season, Pep Guardiola gets this rhythm and he just knows how to get the ball, keep the ball rolling. And even if the ball gets dropped, we pick it up and go again. And I just think we've just got to keep on going. I've seen Manchester City win the title 8 points behind with 6 games to go. So I'm never, ever going to dismiss anyone in a title race until it's mathematically possible.
I mean, just looking at the Arsenal situation, I mean, at the moment they're saying Tomiyasu hasn't trained. So, you know, we may have Ben White playing at right back. That would mean Holding at centre back, which is, you know, I remember Sterling beating him in the ear last season. That was shocking. Aubameyang's already gone to AFCON, though they let him go a few days early. He wasn't going to play anyway. So, I mean, we haven't even got Arteta on the bench tomorrow. We got the assistant who we call Earpod Albert, who's always got his earpods in. So it could be a tricky one for Arsenal tomorrow. If we concede early tomorrow, then I'd be very, nervous. If we can frustrate you till half time or something, we've got a chance. But if you were to go 1-0 up 10, 15 minutes with no manager on the bench, it could be a tough day at the office for Arsenal.
No, I agree with you. And I think City's we just got to know what we're doing. Kevin De Bruyne's come back into a little bit of form. Great assist the other night.
Yeah.
He's rested Gundogan, Sterling and Mahrez. I expect them to play. We've just got to do what we're doing. You know what I mean? The back four looks solid. If Cancelo is starting with Walker, the counter-attack gets broken up a lot. But Rodri's been absolutely massive for everything we've done this season. Massive.
Yeah.
And him being out is a bad blow. So if he's back, then I'm really, really confident.
What's your score prediction?
I've gone 2-0, mate. I just think we get the job done. It's about getting the job done now. It's like the other night at Brentford. Brentford frustrated the life out of us. We just got the job done. We just got the job done, though. Other teams have crumbled there. You got beat there under the mad atmosphere. It's only a tiny ground, but they don't have to steer the pot up. You know what I mean?
They do. Just one quick question, because I saw a comment, people always love this Klopp-Pep thing. If Pep, let's say, leaves next year or whenever he leaves, in the next year, 2 years, whatever, if he hasn't won a Champions League at Manchester City, has he not completed the mission? Even though, we know he's potentially the best manager in the world. He's done incredible things at City. He's taken you to the next level. But to complete that mission, does he need to win that Champions League when you think about how much he's spent?
To be honest, the Manchester City fans are over the moon with what he's done. So there's no pressure on him to deliver this Champions League. Yeah. Is he the best manager we've ever had? Yeah. Should he have won the Champions League against Chelsea? Yeah. I think he'll be disappointed in himself if he doesn't deliver the Champions League. But we're not going to, when he leaves, we're not going to tarnish his reputation and say, Pep, it wasn't good because he never won the Champions League. He's brought us trophies galore. So I'm going to say he'd be disappointed that he's not won it. So, he's a winner. But look, some managers have been managing 30 years and never won a Champions League. You know what I mean? Manchester City's only been in the Champions League for 13, 14 years. Look how long Arsenal's been in it, been to one final, same as us. So it is what it is. But I went to Porto last year, absolutely thrown it away. Best chance we're ever going to have. Pep Guardiola plays a DM for 29 games straight, gets to the final and doesn't play a DM. That's the flaw in the man, though. You know what I mean? These managers, he gets something in his head and it didn't work. We played Paris Saint-Germain the other day. He played Zinchenko, false 9. And we beat him. It's madness, mate. But look, Pep Guardiola is the best manager we've ever had. He's a legend. I hope he wins the Champions League. If he doesn't, then it is what it is. I'll take what he's brought to us. You know what I mean?
Big up Turkish in the chat. So Curtis Tomiyasu might be in training today, so we hope. I mean, if he's even 60, 70% fit, he's got to play, because if we can't be playing Rob Holding against City, man. I'm sorry. I've seen that story before, and I know how it ends. It doesn't end well. Do you think Pep overthinks in them big games? Because people say, he's kind of like a genius, and he sometimes does he almost confuse the situation himself?
See, last season there was 69 possible games to play, and we played 68. We won the league. We lost the FA Cup semi-final. We won the Carabao Cup, and we got to the Champions League final. Now, to keep your squad fighting on all four fronts all season, to do that was unbelievable. And people will, if he goes out and wins that Champions League, they're going to class him as a genius because he didn't play a DM. Because he lost the Champions League, he's bottled it and he's overfought it. The thing is, what you've got to look at, Manchester City won 2 trophies last season. Did we get the big one? No. But at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola's Pep Guardiola. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll win that Champions League one day. Where will it be him? Don't know. But we'll get there.
Hey, big up Turkish. Now they're saying that other one wasn't the real one. He said, that ain't me. Big up you two, though. FaZe, don't get me rattled today on the big sit. I'm telling you now, I'm expecting to see Matisse get ruined today. I'm expecting you. I want to see you guys ruin Matisse today. Because what I'm seeing Lukaku saying.
I've called him the Gremlins, innit? Do you see the Gremlin thing? I called him the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Going crazy about it. But the Grand Dam was on there the other night. He got put in his box. I don't think we'll ever see him on there again. He was embarrassing. Matisse knows his lane. He knows what I was saying. And it's peak for them right now. But you can't go standing on roundabouts singing Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. And then when it comes on top, go and hide like Gizmo or Cuddly in your box, innit? If you bring in the Gremlin, bring it for the season, man. Bring it for the season.
And you know the crazy thing, Lukaku's twerking for Inter, and the Inter presidents come out and said, we sold him for 100 million, we signed Dzeko on a free, and there's no difference. So it's not even like they want him back. They're saying keep him, we got the big paycheck.
I cannot believe what's going on there. I'm not even going to go in on it. Tune into the Big Six, 2 p.m, and you will see what happens. But listen, people thought I was trolling when I called Tuchel a fraud and they said Steve's salty about the Champions League. No, Steve accepted the Champions League. Chelsea deserved it. Fair play.
Yeah.
That is great for them. They beat us. I'm just opened my eyes. And when I went to Stamford Bridge and we beat them in the league, I looked at them and I thought, they're not as good as the press, the media, and themselves think they are. And it's proving my point now. And people saying, oh, Mystic Steve. It's not Mystic Steve. Steve's been watching football a long time. And my opinion, I like to think I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I probably talk pure shit, but sometimes I get it right.
Listen, man, I'll be tuning in for that. Steve, I appreciate you coming on. I'm just when you go off, I'm just gonna round up the Arteta press conference. So I'll give you 10 minutes to get ready for the Big Six. But I appreciate you coming on, bro.
No, mate. Listen, I always enjoy your channel. The chat's always respectful. Big up to everyone that's followed me. And if you haven't seen the Lad Bible video with Don Robbie, go on Lad Bible, check it out. And then any more followers, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, come and follow Big Steve, man, on the YouTube, because I'm respectful to everyone. We just want a good football community, innit?
That's it, man. Everyone just, support everyone in here. So go and subscribe to Steve. Hyperlinks in the description. Go and watch the Big Six show straight after this. I'm just going to round up. But big up, Steve. I'll let you get going. Hopefully we get at least a point tomorrow. If not, I'll be going into hiding anyway.
What's your prediction?
Do you know what? I'm going for 1-1. But listen, I got to be honest. This is just because it's the new year and I'm trying to be positive. In my head, I can't see us getting a point. I got to be honest. If Tomiyasu's not playing and Holding's playing, I think we'll concede a few. But you know what? I'm just going to go for a 1-1 more in hope than expectation.
Listen, mate, let's hope it's a good game and we enjoy it. And I'll speak to you soon, mate. You have to come on my channel. We'll do something on my channel. We'll have a chat about Arsenal on my channel.
Yeah. We'll do one next week or so if you want. Just let me know.
Brilliant.
All the best, Steve. Take care, mate.
All the best
All
for
the
you.
best. Yes, Steve. Now Steve's off, I can say, Man City, they're nowhere near as big as all.
Hey, he's gone now. Listen, I'm just going to quickly round up the press conference, guy, because Arteta's just quickly done the press conference. So I'm just going to quickly go through a few of his quotes, and then we'll get over to the big six at 2, because I want to see Matisse get cooked, I can't lie. But yeah, big up Steve. He's quality Man City YouTuber. And knows his stuff. He's been watching City for a long time. Just some quotes from Mikel Arteta. It's not on the website yet, so I'm going to have to go off the Twitter account. So Arteta was asked about the transfer window. And he said, we are expecting some activity. He said, there are a few loans that we will hopefully have to complete. It depends because it's a complicated market and a short window. We will see what happens. People saying the audio's good now. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes when someone comes on, I don't know if their mic's loud and it makes mine echo. It's crazy. I'll figure it out eventually, though. But yeah, big up Steve for coming on. But that sounds good. It sounds like we're going to sign people. But again, loans. We've been in this loan market before in January, man. Dennis Suarez, Kim Kallstrom, loans in January. No, not often majorly successful. I suppose Martin Odegaard was a decent loan. And this is what I said, people. I said, listen, maybe we were hoping for Renato Sanchez, someone like that. Don't be surprised if Coutinho ends up at Arsenal. I'm telling you. He's got the agent who works with Edu, Kia Jarapchin, brown envelopes all over the place. He's specifically saying loans. Now, on one hand, I like the fact that he's saying we are expecting some activity, but then he's saying there are a few loans that we will hopefully have to complete. It depends because it's a complicated market. So it may be loan season. Don't be surprised if Coutinho ends up at Arsenal. Hash said too much plastic corrupted your mic. Darren said if the other person's mic for sure. I don't know why it does that, but hey, we'll get there. We will end up with Danny Ceballos. We better not. We seriously better not. Let me see what else he said. It sounds like we will bring people in. He said on Aubameyang. At the moment, he's gone. He needs to focus on the national team. We had the conversation that it was the best possible way to do it. We will address it game by game. I mean, he's still not giving us no clarity at all, is he, about the Aubameyang situation and what's happening. Of course, Aubameyang has flown to AFCON already. The club allowed him to leave early. He then goes on to say, on Guardiola, he said, we talked yesterday because he called me to ask me how I was. Tomorrow, he will be defending his club and I will be defending my club, although Arteta will not be actually in the dugout for the game. It will be AirPod Albert in charge. So Guardiola giving that phone call, man, probably saying, listen, man, who's not playing? Let me see who I should play, trying to get the inside info. Basically, it means he's not playing anymore. Maybe loans out. I'm trying to be positive. Yeah, it could be saying loans out. We need to loan Wijnaldum. I mean, I think he's played the last couple of games for PSG, but yeah, listen, at the moment, we beggars can't be choosers. Arteta on why he let Aubameyang go to AFCON early. He said we had a letter from the Gabon national team asking permission to get the player. The player wasn't going to be involved today, so for his fitness, it was the right thing to do. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? None of our other players who are going to AFCON have left early. He's allowed Aubameyang to leave early. Listen, I understand it. If he's not going to play, it makes sense for him to go there and train and have that. He's not even training as part of a squad at the moment. He's not even training with the Arsenal reserves or under 23s. He's training by himself. Magoo said Arthur and Jovic, both doable loans. I mean, listen, the thing is, sometimes you can get a big player on loan if there is some sort of obligation to buy them in the summer. So let's just say, for example, Arsenal wanted a Renato Sanchez. You could get Renato Sanchez on loan. You pay a few million down at the start and you say, listen, we will buy him for 25 million in the summer. There's an obligation. So you can still get big deals. I think you'll see a lot of loans in the market in January because, money is short. Aubameyang's time seems like it's up. Says South London. Unfortunately, it does. But listen, a lot can happen and change in football, and I'm not just trying to put this out there. Arsenal have a very difficult January, and sometimes your value as a player grows the most when you're not playing, because sometimes, when things are going wrong, you start to look at, well, who could have made this better? So, like I said, Manchester City, 2 games against Liverpool and Spurs in January. If we're not scoring goals, all of a sudden people can go, well, actually, you need Aubameyang back. If Arsenal are getting good results during that time, I think he'll look at it and think, I don't need this guy, and let's see how we go without him. So we'll have to see. But listen, Gabon are not one of the favourites for AFCON, so I wouldn't expect them to be there in the last stages of the tournament, to be honest. Big up King, Gambian Goon. I hope you're well, bro. Static said, Curtis, would you consider Andre Silva? I mean, he's decent. I know a lot of people were rating him. I think he scored about 27 goals last season. Arteta shoving him out the door, 100%. Pud said, would love to see Aubameyang have a comeback. I don't see it, but still, in a fairy tale world, I can't lie, people. I'd love to see Aubameyang come back from AFCON, settle his differences, get back in the team, score an important goal and do the front flip or put a mask on at the Emirates. But it's unlikely, Jashar, big up with the super chat, bro, said, big up Curtis, it's been reported that Edu has a big delivery of steaks from Kim. Listen, I'm sure Edu will be celebrating his new year in style, man. And wouldn't surprise me if Coutinho ends up at Arsenal. Arteta on Maitland-Niles' future. He said, any news with players, we will keep it private. Ainsley is our player at the moment. One thing I just want to say is, if I'm picking the team tomorrow, if Tomiyasu is not playing tomorrow, I think Arsenal are making a massive mistake if they play Ben White at right back and play Rob Holding at centre back. To me, keep your centre back pairing together of Ben White and Gabriel. That's your strength in your defence, the middle of your defence. Bring in Ainsley at right back. Or even worst case, play Cedric at right back. They're nothing. He's not amazing, Cedric, but Ben White is a centre-back playing right-back, and then you're bringing in Holding at centre-back. So you're making 2 parts of your back 4 weak. I would rather say Tierney left-back, White and Gabriel at centre-back, and play Ainsley at right-back or Cedric Suarez. That, to me, makes more sense. I don't understand why you would play Ben White at right-back and bring in Holding, mess up 2 parts of your back 4. So I really hope he doesn't do that, because I think we'll struggle if that's our back 4. Darren said, agree, keep the centre-back pairing. 100%. 100%. There's options at full-back. Ahmed said he agrees. Narayanan said, play Tavares at right-back. Harry said, play Nuno at right-back. Cronk out said, Curtis, do you think Cancelo going to feature for tomorrow? I mean, Steve was saying... apparently, like, in terms of injuries, he's fit enough to play. It's whether, he's willing to leave his family behind when they're probably shaken with what's happened. Big up Snake Eyes, who said, just wanted to say hi, Big C, watching as usual. Thank you very much for tuning in, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you've recovered from your operation and stuff that you said. Let's just skip through the press conference quick. Arteta said, I'm going to be here to support and help in certain moments. They have to get the momentum of the game and communication with the players themselves. Apparently, he's speaking to the players, over Zoom and whatever. He goes on to say, Arteta on who will be in charge against Manchester City. He said, Albert Stuvenberg will be in charge with the rest of the coaching team. It depends who will be available, of course. That is AirPod Albert. So let's see how he gets on. Mark said, would you take Dembele from Barcelona? 100%. Read yesterday that he's rejected the new contract of Barcelona. They haven't offered him enough wages, and he's looking potentially to come to the Prem. I know he would want big wages. I know he's had injury problems. But for me, Osman Dembele on a free transfer, I would be absolutely all over it. Sometimes you have to take a risk on players, even if they've had injuries. That guy has got talent for days. He just needs the right environment. He would have big wages, but I would go for it. No free hits tomorrow, people. No free hits. I saw Brentford frustrate them for 2/3 of that game midweek. Manchester City, they lost 1-0 and they had a couple of half chances. We should be able to trouble City. Big up, Fran. Yes, community was on at the same time. Yeah, I had to do 1 o'clock today because obviously Steve couldn't get on at 2. So I'm going to round up now, people, so we can go and watch the Big Six. Have to go and support the show. Get a few comments in before we get out of here. Big up to Fran as well. Fillion said Aubameyang wasn't playing well anyway, so I doubt fans will be like that. That's the problem if this turn... Well, listen, as I say, at the moment, we're in a good run of form. I would say we've had a good run of fixtures. Outside of the West Ham game, I think every game you've said Arsenal should win that. They should win that in this run that we've had. We're now going into fixtures where you're going, we're probably not favourites to beat Manchester City. We're not favourites to beat Liverpool. Tottenham away is a tough game as well. This is where the pressure will build on Arteta if Aubameyang is not involved, you know. So Salo said Big Six is always late. You can relax. Yeah, that's it. I know they always turn up 10, 15 minutes late, so we'll have another 5, 10 minutes or so, then we'll get out of here. Big up Captain Sal, who said, love your show, Big C. Just want to say as well, people, Happy New Year to everyone for tonight, whatever you're doing. Different parts of the world, you know, you may already be at that point. I know in Australia and so on. But really appreciate everything. I may even put a short video out tonight, actually. Just a pre-recorded one as a little thank you. But yeah, if I don't get that out, then hope everyone has a great New Year. It's been a great year on the channel, and you know, onwards and upwards for 2022. Let's hope Arsenal get back in Europe, man, next season. Faye said Happy New Year. Hope the channel grows leaps and bounds in 2022. Listen, we're looking to go to a whole new level next year. You know, this year's been great, winning the content awards, having our record numbers on streams and stuff like that. Next year, you know, we want to go bigger and better, you know, lots more things in the pipeline. Big January ahead as well. January transfer window opens tomorrow, people. From tomorrow, the transfer videos will be starting. And don't forget, tomorrow, before any of you forget, Arsenal versus Manchester City watch-along from 11:45 tomorrow, people. It's going to be an absolutely explosive start to the new year. One way or another, we're either going to be celebrating taking points off Manchester City, or we're going to be, you know, Arsenal therapy settings straight away on the first day of the year if Pep slapped us all over the place. So one way or another, it's going to be epic. So make sure you join me for that. 11:45 a.m. It's an early one. 12:30 kickoff. Penalty Spot said, big up Curtis and all on the channel. Happy New Year, one and all. Yes, I have to echo that. Motivated Success said, Happy New Year, Curtis. Thanks for the great contents. Craig said, Curtis, Happy New Year to you and the family and a blessed 2022. Trying to say Happy New Year. Come on, say it. Come, Cruiser. Come on here. What do you say to the people?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yeah? And what do you think Arsenal Man City tomorrow?
I think it'll be a tough game.
Give me a score prediction. Be nice to us. It's New Year.
I think it's going to be 2-0 City.
Well, thanks a lot. I hope you're wrong on that front. But listen, people, big up to everyone for tuning in. Big up Cruiser, the little cameo there. Yeah, make sure, come on, Eros, watch along tomorrow, 11:45. Make sure you join me. I may do a short video tonight, but if not, make sure you all have a great night tonight. Stay safe. Don't drink too much. Don't eat too much. And I'll see you all tomorrow, 11:45 a.m. for an epic watch-along. Scenes FC, Arsenal against Manchester City. And enjoy your New Year, people. Take care, everyone. Bless.